Hello, everyone. Hope you guys are all having a great day. I just want to start off and say good morning, everyone. One more time. You guys seem a little bit tired. Good morning, everyone. Okay, that was much better. So let's start off. This is the movie that I am doing my project on. It's called Monsters and Men. I recommend you guys watching it. It's actually on Hulu. That's why I put the screenshot right here so you guys can start watching it once you're done watching me talk about it. It's only an hour and a half, so it's not gonna waste too much of your time. I gave it 8.5 out of 10, just because I feel like they could have added more to it. Not necessarily that they needed to, just because I felt like it would have made the story go a little bit smoother. It would have added more depth to the characters and just like kind of give us more information of pretty much just what's going on. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, quick synopsis. Basically, this movie is about these three different guys who all live in Brooklyn, New York. They all kind of deal with the recent incident of a man named Darius Larson who gets shot by a police officer, ends up dying, and this erupts a lot of chaos in their community, especially the Black community. And because of this, each character kind of deals with their own um, idea of police brutality and just kind of how it affects them. Um, because this is really a serious situation. Um, that happens a lot. This kind of reminds me of um, Fruitvale Station. This is very similar, like how Darius Larson got shot. Unarmed Black man, wasn't doing anything wrong, following the police's order, and then tensions were just high. There's a lot of stress between them, and one of the cops ends up just having a trigger finger and end up killing someone for no reason. So the first character we get into, his name's Manny. Um, Manny, he's actually my favorite character in the story. He's a well-respected guy. He's friends with Darius Larson, and I'm pretty sure they've known each other for years, just the way that they acted, the way they talked to each other. Um, and so when Darius got shot and killed, it was very hard for Manny. Um, it was really something he was struggling with. And for him, Manny just wants everyone to succeed. He's always building up everyone on his community. He has a family he wants to take care of. Even though he still lives with his mom, he has a kid with him, and he just wants the best for that kid. And one day he's just hanging out with his friends, and the police show up around the corner. They leave. He goes to check what's up, and this is where everything goes south with Darius. And Manny, just being a good guy, he records everything just to make sure everything's okay. And once he starts, everything just goes south. In the beginning, police are, heated. He's heated, and then Darius gets shot. It's tragic, but yeah, here's what happens.
Sir, step back, please. All right, sir, just step back, please. Right there. All right, but you don't have to stand. All right, you don't have to stand there. You don't have to stand there. Just back up. Thank you. I'm right here. Hey, sir, please. You just back up, sir. Step back. I'm right here, bro. Sir, just film it over there. I'm step back right here. I'm walking home anyway, bro. I told you twice. Yo, D, I got the phone over there. This whole shit. 6 dudes for one guy. 6 dudes for one guy. Are you serious? Fuck up.
So yeah, very tensions were very high, as you can see. The police officers just weren't really staying calm, which made Manny not stay calm. As you can see, they're just yelling back and forth, and then behind the scenes, you can see that the police officers are talking to Darius, and then one thing leads to another, and they get shot. So next person that I'm gonna get into, his name's Dennis Williams. He's a black police officer, and after this incident, he's really on the fence of which side he has to be on. Because on one side, he is an officer. He does have to enforce the law and do his job. And because of that, he wants to be on the side of the officers. But at the same time, because he is a black man and a black man did get shot, um, he has to find justice for Darius. And he finds a lot of controversy with his peers. I'll show you in this clip in a second that he ends up getting into an argument with them because they don't believe he's on the right side. And it's very hard for him because one day his son has Parent Appreciation Day, and the kid's proud of him. His kid's proud of him. So he's wearing a police shirt that is representing Dennis's police unit or his police station. But because of the recent incident, Dennis doesn't want him wearing that. He thinks he might get a lot of backlash, a lot of controversy with the kid. And also because he's black, he might be a target of some sort. And I'll show you in a second. But in the video, his peers basically call him out, saying that it's a real tragedy what happened to Darius Larson. It was something that should not have happened, something that could have easily been presented. And she keeps saying that, well, Dennis goes off saying if he wasn't resisting arrest, he would have gotten shot. So the friend, her name is Lisa, ends up saying, well, if I'm resisting arrest, are you going to shoot me? So because of that, there's a lot of tension. And then Dennis even goes into detail saying that being a cop isn't easy. Tensions are always high. The dude is twice the size. Everything was happening very quickly. So he's saying his job's not easy. So just because there's one bad cop doesn't mean that they're all bad. And it's a very tough job. So even though the police officer was in the wrong, tensions were high, and it was a mistake that shouldn't have been happened, but it was a mistake.
So what's happening about that Larson shooting? What do you mean? The poor man and his family. Yeah, it's tragic. Doesn't that affect you? Sorry, I didn't know it. Unfortunately, what happened to Larson? Yes, it is. Unfortunate. Hey, what are we talking about? Larson was breaking the law. Selling cigarettes. That's crazy. I think he's playing devil's advocate. Well, this time Skylar went too far. All right? He went too far. But again, we weren't there. And if he wasn't resisting arrest, he'd still be here. So, if I resist arrest, you're going to shoot me? I mean, shouldn't there be some kind of training? Yeah, training is just fine. Training's not the problem. So what do you think the problem is? One cop goes too far and now we're all guilty? Is that what you're saying? One cop? Larson is just this one's victim. Well, what would you do? No, but I did. Yeah, listen, what would you do if somebody twice your size is coming at you? After several warnings, what would you do? He was just standing there. If you remember. You don't know that. You know how quickly these things escalate? But he was surrounded by 6 or 8. 10 seconds, Lisa. He's dead. You have no idea. So you have a clue what goes on the streets. You see 3 minutes of a shaky video and you think you know what you do. One cop's mistake, we're all to blame. messed up in this car. I have a gun. Put it on your head. You can talk to me about training. I'm sorry. I just thought you were different. I thought maybe you were part of the solution. That's good. Okay, thank you so much. Every time I put my best on, Lisa, I have to consider the fact that I'll never see my family again.
So yeah, very difficult decision for Dennis to make. He wants to be a good guy. He wants to be on the right side, but it's really hard to be when you're a police officer in this type of situation. Like the friend was saying, training is a big issue with police officers. I personally believe that police officers should be trained more in situations like that, because a lot of them, they don't know what to do. They're very scared for their life, and I completely understand that, because if they do have a gun, they are feared for their own life. But at the same time, you can't assume the worst. um, I just believe that they can handle things better, so situations like what happened to Darius won't happen, or they just can't be prevented. And then our next character named Zarik, he's another interesting individual. Zarik, he's got a ticket out of where he's going. Um, he's very good at baseball, and he's very talented. And because of this, his dad, his coach, and other scouts want him, and he believes that he can make it into the professionals. Um, so that's basically his ticket out, and he uses this later in the film for his political perspectives. And for Zarik, being another black kid running around the streets, he's personally handled what it's been like to be racially targeted, because one of the police officers, or I'm sorry, two of the police officers that were at the scene, two of them that were in front of Manny, they were actually driving by, and they pulled over Zaire for no apparent reason. They pushed him and pressed him against the cop car. They searched his bag without a warrant, without his consent, and after that, they just let him go. They really did it just because he was a black kid with a hoodie on, walking down the street. And later in the movie, he ends up talking to this girl named Zoe, who's um, a political leader who's trying to promote a protest for Darius Larson. And I'll show you in a second that, a bunch of people very strongly feel like Darius didn't get justice, because the cop really got off of it. So, yeah, here it is. And if you note, they're all holding up a fist, pretty much throwing back to the Black Panther Party, representing that black fist for black equality. So there you have it. I think this is a great movie. Um, I really think that in the end, Zyreek was really pushing the boundaries of, his political perspectives, because it's very brave of him to just stand out there, not only in the crowd, but also going onto that baseball field wearing an I Am Darius Larson t-shirt. Um, and going back to his baseball career, the night that he was actually supposed to get drafted on TV, he skipped it to go out to the protest, and his dad told him not to. And he, went against what his father said and went anyways. And I think that's very brave of him to do, not only to stand up to the people around you, um, but it takes a lot of heart to do that, because a lot of people don't have that bravery to do so. But overall, I think what he did was very right and just for Darius. Um, so, like I said, I think this is a great movie. I think they do a great job on bringing up the issues of police brutality and bringing up Black rights. In the clip, if you go back into the movie, I'm not sure if you could see it in the clip, but a lot of the protesters had Black Lives Matter posters and other um, stuff similar to that. So I think it's in this day and age, um, it's something that's still relevant, although Corona is going on. I think there's like a video of this dude in New York who was beating someone, like a police officer is beating someone just because they weren't wearing a mask, or something. But it just shows like, how crazy cops can be. And I understand those are only like the few that are not representing everyone else, the few bad apples, but it's something that is very relevant in today's society. And so I really appreciate that this movie brings light to it. And like I said, I like it. I hope you guys end up watching it and let me know what you guys think of it. Thank you.